All right. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, this is episode 0 of my new form of media outreach. I'm calling this Tales of a Middle Responder because we're not first, we ain't last. We're somewhere in the middle. My name is Lex. I'm a real CSI, and I am all over the place. I am just trying to find so many different ways to do amazing forensic outreach and just to talk about the things that we do in our field without talking about casework and things like that. So, this is going to be a different take, if you will, about forensics. I know everybody always wants to hear the stories and the cases, and I'm sure I'll have stories, but I really wanted to center this type of media towards students, new CSIs, veteran CSIs that are wanting content that is almost morale boosting, things that really hone into what we deal with on a daily, whether it's talking about mental health, second careers, education, especially for students. I know when I was a student, I really wanted multimedia that spoke to me. And there's so many true crime podcasts, and there are so many podcasts from real CSIs that talk about casework. I wanted to do something a little bit different and go over topics and things that I've gone through in my life, mistakes that I've made. And hopefully, by listening, by watching, however you digest this, it'll resonate with you. You'll feel inspired. You'll feel that you have some guidance, and well, I'll have a good time. And it's just something that I've been wanting to do to show myself and to feel a little bit more connected. You guys can ask me real topics, real things, and it'll be all amazing. Um, it's another avenue too for me. I really wanted to talk about my business, and honestly, too much to type. Nobody reads blogs anymore. So this is my form of blogging. And this is my form of media that you can listen to anywhere. Like I'm not somebody, especially in person, I am not filtered at all. But at least on here, it's not going to be like super gritty or gory or full expletives. I just want this to be a fun, clean space where we can come and talk about forensics and things that people don't talk about. I have so many topics: toxic workplaces, um, how to not fall for scams of schools or programs that say they're forensic based but don't give you anything or aren't legitimate. Um, Talking about work life balance, how it is losing friends, how it feels working in crime scene, and even offering guests that are in my field. But also, I have a couple first responder friends, last responder friends that I really want to get both sides. I have always been into talking about death, and as someone that, trust me, a year working in the funeral home ain't a lot, but it changed my life. And I want to talk about the last responders too, which is why I wanted to call it Tales of a Middle Responder, because I see both sides. I interact with both sides. And I think that both sides are amazing. And I want to give them that platform and offer perspective and see how we can tie forensics in and get better relationships. We complain about first responders not caring about CSIs and that respect between sworn and unsworn and civilian. So I'm gonna get a couple of my LEO friends and we're gonna see what the beef is about. We're gonna duke it out. Getting some funeral director friends and learning about what they do and they see what we do. These worlds are so intertwined, but they don't always cross. And I think a lot of what we deal with right now is a lot of miseducation. And that's the biggest part of this is to educate. If I want to be respected and understood, I'm going to educate because that is the only way somebody is going to properly understand. You can't assume everyone knows everything. And CSIs, we think we know everything. So it's okay to educate, and that's kind of what this platform is here. You'll be available to watch it. It'll be available to watch on YouTube. Blah. It'll be available to watch on YouTube. You'll be able to listen to this on all your different ways that you enjoy podcast. And it's something that you can share with your friends, something you can listen to while you walk your dog, while you're processing evidence, however you want to enjoy it. I'm just curious how you do it. Um, so yeah, I think for this is a big jump for me. I do a lot of presenting in person. I do a lot of conferences and things like that. And this is huge for me because this is putting my face out to thousands, if not millions of people. And I don't know how this will go. And it's something that I'm hoping will go well. It's something that I want to go well. And I just want to put a different type of content out there. So, um, my page Before the Crypt has been a outlet for me to be able to create, be the artist that I never was, and connect with so many people. And I have almost 7,000 followers. It just blows my mind. And I'm always trying to find ways to give back to the community. And my biggest thing is I get so many DMs from students. They're on such amazing journeys, and they have all these questions. It's so hard to get back to everybody. And it sounds pretentious, but it's a lot. And when I respond to people, I want it to be intentional and to have meaning because that's a mentorship moment. So this series is also going to be into mentorship and things that I did as a student in my journey, the resources that I didn't know was there and the resources that are now there. So we can get more qualified professionals in the field with spunk and with excitement and people who really want to be about it. So I am so excited. We're going to go into a little bit on the origin of this podcast in episode 0. This is kind of my little blurb if you're listening. And I can't wait to release episode 1 to you guys. It's going to be amazing. If you have any topic ideas, comments, any speaker ideas, if you want to be on this podcast, let me know and we'll get started. The origin story of this podcast is, I come across so much media that I want to enjoy, and I go on YouTube, I go on different means, and I have yet to really find one that focuses on the career. There's so many excellent law enforcement lifestyle, and I've seen nurses and doctors have their lifestyle videos. And I always say, what about us? What about crime scene? So really what Tales of the Middle Responder is a focus on the tales of the middle responder. And I'm not here to tell the tales of the dead. I don't feel like it's my place to be giving any context to cases. It's such a draw, and I'm sure I can do much better if I do that. And no shame to anybody that does. But I just want this to be a different take. I want to talk about topics in forensics that aren't always discussed and give context and give light to different things. Struggles that, I always get asked, how do you deal with mental health in your field? I want to talk about that. I want to be honest about that. I want to have a real and raw conversation. I have talks about faith and forensics, and that's been a big topic on my mind. And you may or may not have any religious beliefs and whatnot, but I have come to a lot of things and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about how I started the business is a big question. And I know there's a lot of CSIs who are creative, and even if they don't make crime scene related businesses, you can still do something and find ways and find avenues outside of work. It's a work life balance. Talking about work life balance and just finding who you are and finding your love in forensics, but also finding love in yourself, I think is one of the biggest topics I could ever preach. I only have 4.5 years on, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But I feel like I have seen enough. I've I've seen what I've needed to see, and it's very selfish to keep it in. So I want this to be for students, for anybody who wants to feel connected to it, who needs a morale boost, who needs ideas. I mean, this is just a community of forensic family. And even if you're interested in crime scene, we'll talk about the field. I'll talk about cases and case types more than cases. But we're going to talk about all that, and we're going to find happy medians. We're going to find points of education, and we're going to find what makes this field amazing, what we need to improve on, and where someone else can step in. I can't do it all. And as much as I love educating, I can only do so much. I am hoping to spread as much kindness and unique thoughts as possible and hope people run with it. I want this to be a platform of ideas old and new and for other people to use them, even if they don't credit me. This is about creating something bigger in forensics that I don't wish to be a part of when I'm gone. When I'm out of forensics, I'm out. And I would hope that these values and things I talk about and ideas, that is something that gets kept for years to come. And I want no credit. I want to see the change and see morale to be boosted and see really educated and really open conversations about forensics that are not true crime media. Again, I am not bashing it, but I want something different. And if you want something different so bad, and if it's not out there, you might as well get your butt up and make it. So that is exactly what Tales of a Middle Responder is. It is a subsection of Before the Crypt. This is going to be a really unique venture, and I hope you stick around for it. You stay by me, and let's create some magic. So until next time, till the next tale. I don't know what my catchline or closing phrase is. I'll see you for episode 1. Buckle in. We're going on a roller coaster. We're going to cry, laugh, everything. I'll see you then.